After witnessing the success of premium SUV coupes like the BMW X6 within Europe, Renault wanted a slice of the pie. So in 2020 they released the Renault Arcana, a small SUV coupe for the masses. And many brands followed suit, releasing cars like the Citroën C4 and also the Volkswagen Taygo. But for 2024, Renault has decided to give the Arcana a freshen up. But why so soon? Well, so much has happened in Renault during that time. They've released cars like the Megane E-Tech and also the new Austral. And there's many more cars to come as well, with the Renault Scenic and many electric cars. So they wanted to make sure that the new Arcana still looked current in its lineup. Very similar to the recent updates to the Renault Clio, they wanted to just give it a freshen up. Hi guys, I'm Tish and welcome back to the John Banks Review channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the outgoing and ingoing Renault Arcana and showing you all the differences between these two cars. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching. And if you like new car reviews and car content like this, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Plus, if at any point you had any questions or queries about the Arcana or anything else in the Renault lineup, then please do get in touch via the description box. There'll be a link there to chat to one of our sales associates. So first off, let's start by talking about the exterior changes. And you may be thinking, Tish, there doesn't look like much has changed, and you would be correct, not a lot has actually changed. Renault just wanted to make sure that it was wearing the new badge and it wouldn't look out of place compared to all the other cars currently in the showroom. So as you can see, the outgoing Renault badge has now changed to the new, sleeker, fresher, smoother Renault badge. You also have a new front grille. As you can see, the outgoing grille, which is almost like these vertical bumps, has changed to more of the diamond shapes. So these diamond shapes actually reflect the Renault badge, and that's something that Renault are moving across to a lot of their models. In fact, a lot of the times you actually find these diamonds almost hidden within the car. It has the same C signature lights, which feature the same daytime running light signatures. And specification has not changed, so you get the same automatic lights and automatic rain sensing wipers. So that's the changes around the front. What about changes around the back? It's a similar story here. Changes are very subtle. Once again, it features the new sleeker badge, and on this Esprit Alpine trim line, the badging has changed from being silver to being black instead. Similarly, you also have black tailpipes rather than silver, which I personally think look really, really good. The main difference is the rear lights. Whereas previously they were a standard red light, they're now clear instead. These are very similar to the new ones that you get on the Renault Clio, and I'm a massive fan of. Boot space remains the same as previously in this version of the Arcana. And that means that you get 480 litres in the boot. You also get an adjustable boot floor, and there's plenty of room for all of your family needs. Instead of the outgoing Evolution, Techno and E-Tech RS lineup, the facelifted Arcana range will be made up of the same Evolution and Techno trims. But replacing the sporty range topper RS line is Esprit Alpine. This pays homage to the French manufacturer's performance and racing F1 orientated brand. Previously, the E-Tech engineered bought a matte grey F1 inspired front blade and two-tone alloy wheels with a flash of sporty red. The new Esprit Alpine trim sees the same matte grey front F1 blade and contrasting black wing mirrors, but the alloy wheels are elevated in their design, and the flash of red is replaced by Alpine logoing. Of course, the biggest changes between RS line and Esprit Alpine can be found on the interior. And before I show you the new car, let's take a look at the existing RS line trim. The main theme is carbon and red. On the dashboard, you'll find a high gloss carbon effect dash with red trim which runs all the way along the top and behind the touchscreen. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather, and you'll find red and white stitching which runs all the way along the inside. You also have red around the Renault badge, and you have that RS line badging. The seat belts are also trimmed in red, and you get that same red and white stitching from the steering wheel trimmed onto the seats. These seats are finished in leather and Alcantara. That red and white stitching is also along the armrest, and you'll find it on the gear selector. Lastly, you'll find a piece of gloss black plastic which surrounds the gear selector. Now let's take a look at the Esprit Alpine. Now on to the Esprit Alpine trim line, and doesn't it look fantastic? It feels a lot more premium, a lot more sleek and stylish, and a little bit more simple as well. You still have the same leather wrap steering wheel, but it now has tricolour blue, white and red stitching to pay homage to its French heritage. You'll also find no red surround of the badge, and it's lost the RS line badging, of course, and this makes it look just a bit more cleaner. I actually far prefer it. The seat belts are trimmed in blue rather than in red, and you'll also find blue stitching on the seats. Now the seats have actually been flipped. Whereas before they were leather with Alcantara parts, they're now Alcantara with leather parts. But the leather is actually quilted, so in my opinion it looks a lot better quality. You have blue and white stitching which runs along the sides, and that's onto the centre armrest as well. You get the same gloss black surround of the gear selector, and that blue and white stitching runs all the way along the gear selector as well. The big change you'll notice is this dashboard, which is now trimmed in a matte effect rather than gloss, and you get some chrome that runs all the way along the top rather than the red. It's been simplified, and I personally think this makes it look a lot more premium. Space in the outgoing model is acceptable for 2 tall adults, although headspace is a little tight, which is expected with a coupe roofline. The new model remains unchanged. Legroom and headspace is perfectly fine for a sporty crossover. The armrest with cup holders are still featured, as well as rear air vents, 2 USB ports and a 12-volt point, which is generous for its class. The Arcana utilises a full hybrid powertrain, consisting of a 1.6-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, an electric motor and a small 1.2 kWh battery. It prioritises electric driving, allowing for silent operation in urban areas. The petrol engine engages around 30 mph. The hybrid model features a B mode on the gearbox, enabling efficient braking without the frequent use of the brake pedal. When you lift off the accelerator, regenerative braking is employed to slow down the vehicle and recharge the battery. On the motorway, the Arcana proves to be comfortable and quiet cruiser, with minimal cabin noise except for wind noise around the mirrors. The steering provides a reassuring feel at higher speeds, although bumps in the road can be noticeable. During acceleration for overtaking, the hybrid engine may become noisy, but it becomes quieter once you reach cruising speed. We all know that famous saying, don't we? If it's not broke, then don't fix it. And that definitely applies with the new generation of Renault Arcana. There was nothing wrong with it. So many of our customers absolutely loved their current models. But this little nip and tuck have just made sure that it looks fresh amongst its brothers and sisters within the showroom. I really hope you have enjoyed the video today, guys. What do you think of the updated Arcana? Pop it in the comments down below. And if you are an existing customer, then share your thoughts. We'd love to know how you're finding your car. If you had any more questions or queries about the Arcana, then you can get in contact with one of our sales associates via the link in the description box. If you want to see more videos like this, then please don't forget to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, see you later.